you can then start to subconsciously and consciously work towards achieving those goals. Welcome to the Entrepreneur Motivation Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Bello. Today, we are talking about how clarity leads to results. If you are clear on exactly what it is that you want, it is far easier to actually set goals, set deadlines, make a task list in Asana, and know exactly what you need to focus on. But if you don't have clarity on where it is that you want to go, what your goals are, what you're looking to achieve, it gets very difficult to set those types of goals because you're not sure where it is that you're going. And if you've been following me for some time recently, you may have seen or heard that I have been going through this myself in a way. I made a post on my Facebook page, just like a 15-minute video or so, saying, gosh, guys, I've achieved a couple little things here and there. I've got some quote unquote success, with my podcast, the downloads, my hitting 6-figure commission in real estate, those types of things that I've done. It's cool, but I see the writing on the wall type thing. And it's like, I'm looking for that thing that I could do for the next 5 to 10 years or the next 3 to 5 years. What is that focus that I can have? What's my big goal? What would be a win? What would be a loss? And what would be just going through the motions? And right now, I guess because I don't have that clarity, I haven't taken the time to define that. I don't really know where I stand. Am I successful? It depends on your version of success. Is it a certain amount of money in the bank, a certain type of job, a certain type of lifestyle, maybe a certain type of passive income, a certain amount of money coming in passively through investments or rentals or anything like that? And so if I were to define my life as successful, my life might look like a failure to someone else who's got even bigger goals. However, on the other side, my life might be a success compared to other people who are still stuck in the rat race, plugged into the matrix. They hate their job, they hate their boss, and they're not sure exactly what it is that they want to do. So I understand that everyone's version of success and goals, everything looks different, right? We're all in different places. So for me, I've been absolutely spending more time getting clear on what can I focus on next? What is that big picture thing? I spent some time on the flight back from the Podcast Movement Conference in Dallas, Texas, brainstorming, writing things down on the plane. I've got whole pages full. I probably wrote 15 or so pages in my notebook of notes at the conference, but probably 4 or 5 of those, a third of the notes that I took, were on the plane ride back. And I was literally brainstorming podcast niches that I could focus on that blend my skills in real estate with my skills with podcasting so I can really serve a specific and niche audience. And I know that the riches are in the niches. And so I'm thinking, my niche can be real estate agents. I love productivity, automation, and delegation. I have real estate experience. I've been a real estate agent for the last few years. There are hundreds of thousands of realtors globally. That can be my audience that I focus on. And I know that I can help real estate agents make more money through simple systems and automations. I'm trying to really dial in that value statement. And I want it to be, something maybe about making more money in less time, booking appointments more efficiently, increasing your show rates and conversions for your appointments, your buyers, and your seller clients. And I know part of the challenge has been my audience right now is pretty generic and pretty broad, right? Entrepreneur Motivation Podcast. It's anything entrepreneurship and motivation. And people in my audience may have a day job, may not have a job. Or a day job. They may work for themselves. They may be financially free, or they may be on the journey to try to figure that out. And so I know people in my audience are at all different levels, all different skill levels, all different income levels. And I'm trying to get a better read on who's in my audience. What do they want to learn? If you're on my email list, which if you're not, you can sign up there at chrisbello.com/free to hear from me a couple times a week. I try to send the best valuable emails that I can and also give updates on new episodes and things like that. But on my email list, I actually asked my list, hey, I've got a couple questions for you. 1, how did you find me, or why are you following me? Something along those lines. And then 2, what type of content do you want to see more of from me? Just as I get better, I'm trying to get better at clarifying who's in the audience. And so when I say clarity leads to results, clarity is that first step, defining what is it that you want? Where is it that you want to go? What are the goals and the targets that you are aiming for that you would define as a success if you were to hit those? And so by doing that and taking the time, you can chart a path. You know where the outcome is. And if you're not sure where that is, you can't set the goals and steps in order to get there. And another thing that I've been doing is just really finding some sort of mentor, some sort of business relationship in a way, if that makes sense. I've got a coach, I've got a business coach, I've got a life coach, I've got all those different types of things. But I've been looking for more of a team dynamic and just a sense of camaraderie and being in a room of people who are more successful than me that I can learn from, draw inspiration from, and just feel that energy of deals happening and calls being made and that person closed the deal and here's an opportunity over here, like seeing that kind of stuff. So most recently, I've been talking about this in my stories too. If you follow me, I met a guy through some mutual friends who's doing really well in real estate in Denver, in the Colorado area. He has his real estate license, helps a bunch of clients, has Airbnbs, all kinds of things. And he's at that level where he no longer really has to work if he never wants to again. And I'm at that level where I'm like, man, I've figured out how to make a little bit of money here and there. Nothing like definitely not hitting 6-figure months or anything like that just yet. And I know so many people who are hitting those months where it's almost like I'm getting so used to it that it's sounding more and more normal to me. And it's just a matter of when, not if it's going to happen. I truly believe that. And so I reached out to him and I'm like, hey, I want to be in your proximity. I just want to learn from you. I want to be able to hang out with someone like you. And if I can add value to you in exchange for some mentorship, some guidance, maybe you can throw a couple of deals my way and I can house hack them. And you tell me, is this actually a good deal? How do I break the numbers down? Can I scrape this lot, build new construction, build a multifamily property and rent 3 units out? Those types of things that I kind of know from the real estate realtor perspective, but not quite as much from a scrape down the property and build completely new. I haven't really done that level of renovations or anything just yet. So tomorrow, Monday, or today, if you're listening to this on Monday, I'm actually going to stop by the office and see how I can help him out, add value to him. And we're just going to go with the flow and see how it works. He's like, hey, let's try it out. I've got this goal. If you can help me get there, then great. There will be financial rewards for all of us because if we can hit those goals, then we all win. And so it's kind of like a handshake agreement at this point in time. There's no contract in place. There's no operating agreement. I don't have like equity in his company or anything like that. And I'm not necessarily an employee. It's like kind of a really cool, unique way that I've just created this opportunity, pitched him on it. And we talked a few times, over the weekend I stopped by, we talked for another 2 hours. He was just telling me like, if you could snap your fingers and make a certain income every month, what would that look like? And what would your expectations be for this kind of working role if we were to work together? And so I just manifested that. My last episode, if you listen to the one right before this, was about, you can control your reality. You can change things. If you want something, go get it, manifest it, speak it into existence. And I just want to inspire you because that's kind of what I'm doing here. But to take it the next step, and that's why I'm talking about this in this episode, I needed more clarity. I understood I want to work on a team. I want to work with other high performers. I want to work with someone who's ahead of me, who can be a mentor to me in a way. Boom, found this guy, checks the boxes. The office is 5 minutes away from where I live right now. And literally tomorrow I'm heading into the office just to work with him, collaborate with him, tag along, maybe catch a flight, on his airplane or something to one of his projects that he's working on. And we'll see how it goes, right? So if you're not clear on where you want to go, brainstorm, write it out. I've talked about this before on the show. I got this idea from another podcaster, Miles Beckler, talks about the perfect day exercise. I've done this a few times. Literally spend an hour or so crafting your perfect day on a piece of paper, 1 or 2 pages, write it out. What time would you wake up? What would your view be? Would you have a special type of coffee machine? Would you go on a walk with your dog? Would you play fetch with your dog? How would your day look? Spell it out in incredible detail and be very clear on what's that perfect vision for yourself. Because if you can come up with that vision, if you can put pen to paper and make it reality, you can then start to subconsciously and consciously work towards achieving those goals. Whereas if you don't have that page, if you're not sure what your ideal version of your life is, you're just going to be going with the flow and going through the motions because life isn't too bad. It's not too great. It just is what it is. And you're just floating through the matrix like everybody else instead of being intentional about where it is that you want to go. So get clear, get focused, and start to create a plan in order to get there. So I want to leave you with this last quote just to really drive the point home. A goal without a plan is just a wish. If you don't have a plan, if you don't have a goal, it's just a wish, it's just a pipe dream. You're never going to get there. You have to have a plan. You have to actually set timelines and deadlines and due dates and hold yourself accountable, work with an accountability partner if you don't have one, and get cracking at it just so you can actually start to work towards there. And funny enough, I just got an email from that guy that I'm talking about. I'm heading in there. I'm heading into the office tomorrow. I just got an email. Quick check-in on your real estate goals outcome for the past few years. Cool. There's a couple of goals here. Awesome. So it sounds like he's holding someone else accountable. He BCC'd me on there so I can just get an idea for what that conversation looks like. And it looks like I've kind of forged some sort of mentor relationship here. Get really excited to go in there tomorrow, just see how it goes, add value, be a fly on the wall, learn, and most importantly, not get stuck with inaction, because I think a lot of us get stuck with inaction because we don't know everything. We're not sure of all the steps. We are afraid of risking money or time and maybe making the wrong decision. But if we have someone who's been in the game for decades more than we have, they can be our eyes and they can be our guide, and they can bless different projects that we want to work on or tell us, yes, that is the right step. If you want this outcome, I've done it before, follow me. Whereas if you haven't done it before and you're not sure, you second doubt yourself all the time. That's what I'm hoping to avoid with this type of mentor in my life, to look at numbers of a project, bless it, help me with funding and financing and flipping and all these different things and investment real estate. So I'll let you guys know how it goes. But that's it for today. I hope all is well on your side. I hope you had a great weekend, and I look forward to catching you on the next episode. Talk to you soon. Have a great day. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share it with a friend, all that good stuff. And I'll talk to you on the next one.